Good morning everybody. The fretboard is all glued, sanded, and it is ready for some whacking. Let's go. So firstly, where did I put the fret wire? Ah, on the workbench of course. Duh. So I think firstly, let's just get them all cut to the length that is actually needed. Oh God, this is awkward. No, oh. Well, I think the intense music worked quite well last time, so let's start that again. Okay. Be nice. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That looks... Oh, just whack my microphone. I can't really believe that it went that well, to be honest. But speaking of potential problems or hitches, I need to now install the nut at the top, which should be an interesting one because I need to cut it to length and I'm not entirely sure I have a chisel that's small enough to get in there. But firstly, let's make it nice and prominent again because I have kind of lost the pencil line. Right, how am I going to do this? It's not like I can just trace around it because this fretboard is bent. Radius. Let's just do it from both ends. Oh. Okay, and then to saw this out, I'm going to give myself a little V groove to work to. Good God, this is nerve-wracking. Oh. Oh, yeah, of course I did that. You absolute plonker. Right, so when I was cutting this nut slot, I was cutting it deep enough to essentially have 5mm poking up above the fretboard. Obviously, I measured this from the edge, well, both edges, but I forgot to take into account the curved fretboard. again. So basically what I'm going to have to do is pack out underneath this nut just to bring it back up again. Some veneer or something will go under there quite nicely. But I mean, on the upside, how about that for a fit? It's not bad, pretty tight in there. So I was thinking that I could patch it with another bit of ash, which involves running it lengthways through that slot. The issue with this is, end grain of ash isn't the same colour as the long grain of ash, the side grain of it, the normal grain of it. So it's going to be quite prominent, and it's definitely going to look like a mistake has been patched. So, oh, Christ, that was louder than I thought. I think I might use some offcuts of the fretboard with the ebony and replace it with that, because then it kind of just looks like a bit of inlay. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's not ideal, but we got to work with it. We got to work with it. So now I need to cut the nut to its length. Right, so now I need to mark the radius onto the nut. So that's just going to be mushed in there, and then I'll get a pencil. And unfortunately, I don't have a sander to put this curve in it, so I'm going to have to cut it on the bandsaw again and then shape it by hand, which is going to be fun. And then I've set up this shooting board style thingy, which I'm going to use the file on its side and keep that nut nice and square. I'll just take this opportunity to polish up the faces of the nut as well. So I'll start with some 240 grit. Now, as much as I would love to install it now, I have to wait until pretty much at the end of the project to install that nut, because firstly, I need to flatten the frets, but before I flatten the frets, I need to cut out the neck and I need to adjust the truss rod in there. So the very last thing I need to do is install this. So I am going to put them up here. So if I forget where they are later in the series, this serves as a visual reminder, and you can remind me. I forgot I've still got these. They're broken. Okay, somehow I've broken my goggles and I've been wearing them the whole time. Anyway, the nut is up there. Remind me if I forget. What do I even need to do now? I mean, to be honest, it's probably about time to cut out the neck, I think. So let's do that. And all of a sudden, it feels lovely and ergonomic. Oh, yeah. So, I've got the body blanks out of the clamps, and these need to be thickness down to match the same thickness as the neck here. So currently the planer is being used as peanut butter and baked bean storage, apparently. So it'll be good to make some noise with this thing again. Now there is something a little bit scary about putting solid brass over a planer, but it shouldn't hit it. I think I've got enough clearance.
up in your sight. You know I'm already with you. Treat me right. No.
Okay, pop these things back where they belong. Okay, so I think I need to draw, well, I don't think, I need to draw the body shape back onto the guitar because we have planed it off. Oh, actually, need to joint that inside face first because that's, yeah, I haven't done that yet.
From the sky burns, and you see me come around from the...
And we're back. Okay, so get these into position, just lining up the pencil marks that I've left on the neck there. A white pencil definitely would have been more sensible, but oh well. Right, so now what I'm thinking is I can start laying out for the hollow cavities in here before cutting off the outside shape, because this area here is going to be hollow. If I cut the shape of the guitar out first and then start routing it out, there's a chance for some short grain to smash out here from the router, whereas the bandsaw is going to remove it a lot more gentle, and then I'll obviously sand it to shape afterwards. So the cavities are going to be cut first, but what I'm going to do before that is pop the buckeye burr top on here and then trace around where those voids are going to be. Okay, so I've got this one here, which was the problematic one. Actually, that might blend in quite well to this top split, possibly. We'll see how that works out. Got this one here and this one, which is going to intersect with the neck. So I think the way I'm going to cut these cavities out is drill out as much waste as possible and then route round a template of some sort. Now I need to make the template first, which means if I pop a bit of paper underneath, let's get it a bit closer to the designated area, line it up with my template, then trace onto the paper the outline. So there we go, I've got a profile of one of the horns there. Now I still want these walls to be quite thick, so I don't know, about 15 mil. We'll draw a 15 mil offset. So that can be hollow numero 1, and hollow number 2 is the big boy. So then these can be stuck to a bit of plywood and is going to make our template. I might as well just get rid of all this rubbish. Doesn't really matter where, just going to double-sided tape it down. So now we can cut them up and make some negative templates. Okay, let's see how they look. Right, so let's just roughly draw them on. Let's see what we're looking at. The only thing I'm seeing here is that this bottom cavity might interfere with the pickup. Let's get one of them in place. Oh, it might just miss it actually. Yep, I think we'll be all right with that. Right, so I think I'm going to call it there for this episode because I have just made an absolute mess again and done loads today. So what I'm going to do between now and the next episode is get the inside of these templates sanded and nice and smooth so that the router bearing can follow it. And also, when I go and teach my evening class, just beforehand, I'm going to get this buckeye burr sanded down to thickness because it's at about 10 or 8 mil at the moment and it needs to go down to 5 millimeters. So I'll make sure to film it, but hopefully all goes to plan. So, see you in the next episode.